This container was full of stowaways, but when customs checked, it was empty. The sheriff knew the container must have been modified. He called one of his men to enter the bottom of the container while he stayed outside. Then he ordered his man to fire a shot. The bullet holes explained everything instantly. He returned to the container and warned that if they didn't come out, he'd start shooting. But the stowaways knew they were doomed either way. Mia noticed there was space above the crate, so she climbed up. Just as the impatient sheriff was about to give the order, the iron door suddenly opened. Without hesitation, the sheriff shot the girl, ending her life. He then ordered a cleanup. Bullets pierced through the metal, turning everyone inside into Swiss cheese. Mia covered her mouth tightly, fearing any sound. Even the child who miraculously survived couldn't escape a gunshot. After the sheriff left, she shakily took out her phone to contact her husband. She sent a voice message telling him to find a place to hide quickly, or he'd be shot. Initially, she and her husband were in the same container. But midway, the snakehead opened the door again, and more stowaways rushed in. Amidst the chaos, Nick was moved to another container, separating them completely. Now, Mia was alone, and her nightmare of survival began. She didn't know if her husband was alive or dead, leaving everything to fate. But fate wasn't kind. That night, a storm hit, and the ship rocked violently. To save the ship, the captain ordered some containers to be thrown overboard, including Mia's. When she woke up the next day, it was daylight. The container had rotated 180 degrees. Looking through a bullet hole, she saw nothing but ocean. She wanted to contact her husband, but her phone screen was shattered. She took out a backup phone but forgot the password. Worse, her baby hadn't moved in a long time, and seawater kept pouring in. She immediately opened the crate to search for supplies. One box was full of Tupperware, another had sports jackets, and yet another had LCD pennies, but no food or water. She used duct tape to seal the leak. Then she heard a heart-wrenching scream from outside. Looking out, she realized it was her husband's container, number 107, rapidly sinking. It soon disappeared beneath the waves. In despair, she took out a knife, ready to join her husband in death. But then her belly moved, the baby kicked. Mia abandoned the thought of suicide, unwilling to let her baby die too. The next day, she focused on survival, starting with food. She opened the last crate, hoping for a surprise, but the director wasn't that kind, giving her another box of Tupperware. She cursed the director and the writer, but the B strips were useful. She used them and duct tape to seal the leaks. Then she found a piece of hose, quickly solving the leak and drainage problem. She used duct tape to write down the date and highest water level. In her luggage, she had a piece of bread, 2 bottles of fresh water, and some basic outdoor gear. Suddenly, her phone rang. Thank goodness.